Hello, Mark Rogers here. We finally reached the point in the 2-week website process where you will make the final decision on your domain name. That's the name that will be in your web address, and in publishing your website to go live on the internet. So let's go ahead without further ado and get started. First thing is to select the domain registrar. A registrar has to be used to register your domain name. There are a lot of domain registrars out there. The one that I use most commonly now, and the one that I recommend and will be using for a display here and some demonstrations here in just a few minutes, is Namecheap. And I know some of these things may really sound cheesy, but Namecheap is a very good and well-respected domain registrar and widely used. Others are GoDaddy, Internet BS, and others that you'll need to research them first to find out what all the characteristics of them are and what kind of conditions there are. But for the purposes of this demonstration, I'm going to use the one that I use most often and recommend to you is Namecheap. They can register your domain name. Now, selecting a domain name, you may have already selected your domain name before you got here, or you've got several in your mind by now, no doubt. So I'm going to kind of just talk to you about the basic characteristics of a domain name and what they mean, and let you look at some options here. You're basically going to be looking for a site name match. A site name match would be a website just like the one that I showed you on another video, Fort Smith Taekwondo, or bulging disc symptoms. These are exact match domains. These are domain names. When you're looking for an exact site match domain name, you're looking for faster homepage indexing and ranking. These names still are easier to get initially ranked and up higher on the front page of Google and further up in Google than brand names that take longer, that don't necessarily exclusively match the content of your site. The downside to an exact match domain is that there may be lower long-term organic traffic potential if you use them as a very fine niche that you're not going to do a lot of long-term work on. But they can rank pretty fast. They will be indexed fast, and they can make a significant amount of money, particularly short-term. Some of them, of course, can evolve into long-term, very large sites. But generally, if you're looking for an exact domain match name, these are the characteristics of it, both the upside and the downside to it. Otherwise, you're looking for possibly a brand name. Now, a brand domain name would be what you would want to be known by online long term. Brands that may not even indicate what you are or what your site is about. These are for larger sites with long-term potential. The example of that is Christian Gun Owner, which is my website. Very few people on earth are looking online for the term Christian gun owner. A few are, but very, very few are. They're looking for a lot of terms about gun reviews and ammunition and things like that. And a lot of the pages on that site come up on the front page of Google when they type them in. But that's a long-term site that has a page rank of 4 on the home page. Most of the pages in it are ranked at 3. It's got thousands of links pointing to it, but it's a long-term site. It's been around for 4.5 years, and a Christian Gun Owner is a unusual niche and an unusual name, but it is a brand. The CGO, the letters CGO, are a brand online, and this is a good example of a site that has been around for a while, and it has long-term potential. It has almost unlimited long-term potential. Through the brand Christian Gun Owner. There again, it's unlimited traffic potential. Online brand recognition is what you're looking for, and the potential for things like viral assimilation are more prevalent with these type of brandings than other types or exact match domain names up here. So those are what you're looking at in trying to determine a domain name. If you haven't decided yet, this is both the advantage and disadvantage to an exact match domain, and this is the advantage to a brand. You're looking for larger site with long-term potential as opposed to quicker ranking and quick short-term potential. An ideal combination would be an exact match domain name with brand characteristics, but don't get stuck here trying to find something like that right now. For your first website, you want to get something, most people want to try to get something for their first website that comes close to matching the exact name of their product or website. Others want a brand. They already have a brand, they already have a business in mind, or they have a business, a brick and mortar business they want to promote, and they'll use it online under these conditions. So one of these two are probably what you're looking for. After you've been doing this for a while, certainly keep your eyes out for an idea, what you feel would be an ideal domain name for a website that you might come up with. One of the things that is just, I can give you an example of here, are names like, for instance, a brand name here. We're talking about larger sites with long-term potential. Think about eBay. I mean, when eBay, the name eBay came out, who knew what it was? Nobody. It doesn't say anything about what it is. It does now because, billions of people know what it is. But that was a brand name. Overstock.com. Google, of all things. Whoever knew what a Google was, and now who online does not know what Google is. Those are brand names that have been used on very large sites with long-term potential. And again, these are the characteristics of those type of things. Now, when you think about a brand, don't get stuck with Google, eBay, things like that, thinking, well, how am I ever going to build something that monstrous? You're probably not. But a brand, just like the Christian Gun Owner, can be used to gain notoriety online through a number of different venues, and can produce some very large sites with very good long-term potential, brand recognition, and the potential for these type of things to go viral if they're interesting enough to enough people. So, selecting a domain registrar, I recommend Namecheap, and I'll actually bring this up over here for you. This is Namecheap. This is what it looks like, the home page, and I'll show you what you need to do to choose your domain name here. When you register a name with a registrar, you're going to have to join up with them. You're going to have to sign up with them. It doesn't cost anything to join a registrar. You just have to join up and give your information. But to check them out, check out domains that you want to that you're thinking about to see if they're available. You just come to this home screen right here, and this you can do a search for domain names. So any type site, it's going to be all one name, .com, and I'll search for that to see if that domain name is available. It is available. Anytypesite.com, anytypesite.org, and anytypesite.net, as well as all these others, are all available. So I can buy this one, and I can buy these other two. It would be most likely, if I thought this was going to be a really important domain name, I could buy this one, I could buy these other two to keep somebody else from getting my brand name in a website. If you type in something like any type site or any domain name that you've got in mind, and this is not available, and you do that search, that screen will come up. That screen will come up, and it will show you what is available and what is not available. So if anytypesite.com was not available, it would be grayed out like that, and it wouldn't be available, but it would show you what was available down here in case you wanted to buy any other domain name with an extension. And in the course of this conversation, keep it to com, org, or net in any domain name that you're choosing. For now, don't try to go with any other type of extension on a domain name. So that's how you just go in and start looking to see what type of domain name that you have in mind is available, and with what extension is just come in and simply do searches for them. And when you get one that you decide you want to use, just go in and buy it, but you'll have to be registered with Namecheap or some other registrar. But it is easy enough to sign up, and would just suggest that you go ahead and do that. So we're going to select a name registrar, a domain name, go in and search until you find the one that you want, and sign up with a registrar by just giving them your information and what is required. You will pay for that domain name. For available domain names, they're going to generally run between somewhere between $8 and $15 for a year. and it's a good idea if you've got a good one to go ahead and buy it for a couple of years, and you can buy some you can buy whois protection too, which is keeps your personal information masked. Otherwise, your information about your domain name is public information. So that it can be good or bad to mask it, to mask your information based on what kind of site you have. On the Christian Gun Owner website, I don't mask any of my personal information, and I make it clear who I am and where I live on the website, so I don't mask that information. On others, where I'm not listed anywhere as the author on the site, and it's something like bulging disc symptoms or something like that, that my name is not required or even regarded, then I may use whois protection to cover up my identity in case anybody goes looking for my name, address, phone number, and things like that. That's all public information if you don't use whois protection. So that's just a little bit of information there on the front end that you might want to consider when publishing your domain name or when purchasing it. You can also you can also activate your whois protection if you want to. Next, you'll need to sign up with a host. And what I'm doing here is, of course, I'm running you through this whole process on the basis that you're going to build your own website with software, that you're going to register a domain name with a registrar, that you're going to sign up for your own hosting, and that you're going to publish your domain with a web host. Now, there are shortcuts to this by going to some hosting venue like Weebly or Blogger or something like that, where you can where they've got the templates and everything, where you build them right there on the site. The downside to that is they own everything except your content, and those things. And I think Blogger is even the terms of use there are even written to where everything on a Blogger blog can disappear if Google doesn't like it for some reason. They can take it down and not give you any of it back. So this is on the assumption that you are doing everything according to these videos, and that is building your website on software on your computer with a file that will save your website. Then selecting a domain registrar, registering your domain name, and then signing up with a web host, and then publishing your website, and you being in control of all of it. So signing up with HostGator is next, and the plan I'm recommending to you is the unlimited baby plan. And don't want any of you guys to be put off by the baby plan, because that's just what it's called. They call it Hatchling Baby and Business Plan, which business sounds cooler, but a lot of people don't need it for their first site, and you can upgrade to it later. The baby plan is right here on HostGator. It's under shared hosting. Here's the HostGator homepage. If you go in there to hostgator.com, these down here you don't need to start with. View web hosting plans up here is where you want to click into, and that's the page that just showed up when I clicked over here. Then the baby plan here means you get unlimited domains, unlimited disk space, unlimited bandwidth, so you can have more than one website that you can build on this plan. And you'll need to read the terms and conditions on this, but in reality you can build several pretty significant websites and not have to worry about joining any other hosting service for a while. In ordering, if you order this package right here, and these are the prices right here, if you pay monthly right here, you don't have a contract and you can get out anytime you want to. But it's a little bit more expensive than paying 3 years at once, which you pay through $636 a month if you pay for 3 years all at once, and then of course they progress as according to what you pay all at once. But if you pay monthly, it's $796. I believe you can still pay through PayPal with HostGator, and it's just monthly. There's no contract or anything. The first step when you start to sign up for HostGator or any web host is they're going to ask for you to register a domain name with them. If you don't have a domain name, you can register one here with HostGator. Please avoid that. Please do not take the easy way and do that here. Please go buy your domain name with a registrar like Namecheap and have that separate from your hosting account. That will make your life way easier in the future if you decide to move your domain somewhere else or to move your website somewhere besides HostGator. It'll be a whole lot easier if you have total control over your domain name. So if you have your domain name, you buy it through a registrar like Namecheap or GoDaddy or one of the others, you'll take that domain name and you'll enter it right here. You'll enter the domain name, like for me it would be christiangunowner.com. Then I would continue on to step 2, and that would take you on into signing up for the rest of your account information. So that's the way you sign up there for HostGator. I recommend the baby plan. You certainly don't want this one right here to just be able to put a single domain on it. Business plan is good. There's some advantages there if you know something about web hosting. To begin with, you'll see in here a few advantages to this. Otherwise, this plan right here will do fine for right now, and will take you quite a ways before you need to do anything else. So sign up there. Just showed you your name will be requested. That domain name in HostGator will become your primary domain name. So if you want to, in 4 months, if you want to build another website on this same account, your account will be identified in HostGator by this primary domain, the first domain name you put in there. And after that, every other website that you build will be an add-on domain. And I've got a picture here of the HostGator, my HostGator cPanel, and let me bring it down here. And so let's say you build a website right now, and 4 months later you want to build a different website, another one. Then what you would do is go to your cPanel. This is where you control everything in HostGator. You'll have one of these right here, a cPanel with all this stuff in it. You'd go down here to add-on domains, click in there, and you'd be taken to a screen where you can very easily set up another domain, another website on this account. And you can do that over and over and over again within reason. And you'll see what within reason means under the terms and conditions when you join up. But anyway, that's just for your information, and let you know what you can do. After you sign up, after you've completed the sign up for your primary website, then HostGator shortly after that will be prepared for the uploading of your primary website, the website that you've built through following these videos and using your software and picking your domain name. All that will be ready to go, and HostGator will be ready to receive your site. Now, what you want to do first of all is you want to transfer your domain name from the registrar, which is Namecheap, to the host, which is HostGator. Now, here's what that means. You're going to transfer your domain servers from the register to the host, so that when you publish your website on HostGator, that HostGator can make it go live and visible on the internet. And this is what this means. When you go into Namecheap, this is what this is right here. Of course, I showed it to you just a minute ago. When you log in, after you've signed up and you log in, and this is my member page, this is my member home page right here. I'm not going to take you too far in here, but this is my member home page. I am signed in here, and this right here is the screen that comes up for you to show you. It's a summary page of your account, and here is my summary of my domains over here. The number of domains in my account and domains expiring, and all this information is here, so you can just get a quick view of it to see anything that you need to deal with. So when you sign up with Namecheap and you've got your domain and you're logged in, what you'll do is you'll go to this page right here, and you'll click number of domains right up here, which, and of course, the first one, after you do the first one, you'll only have one, but this is where you'll click. You'll click on View under number of domains in your account, and you'll go to a page. You'll go to a page that looks just like this right here. Now, again, I'm going to zoom in. This is my page that I blurred a bunch of stuff out because it's some of this stuff it just doesn't need to be out publicly. But this is when I click on that page right here. When I click on this, it goes to this page here, which is where my domains are. This is showing that. Now from here, this is what it'll do for you when you're logged in and you click on that. It'll go to this page for you. Now you'll only have one domain. It'll be listed right here under domain name. You'll have one domain up here because you've just started. So from here, from this page, you want to click on your domain name to go to the Modify Domains page. Now this is all within transferring these name servers, and I'm showing you how to do that. From here, you'll click on your domain name, which would be right up here at the top. You'd click right there, and it would take you to the Modified Domains page. That's right here. Going to the Modified Domains page, you'll have a list of choices over here. And here's what you're looking for: transfer domain name server to web host. Or it may say something like setup DNS. or something similar to that, but this is where you're going to take the domain name servers numbers and you're going to transfer them so that HostGator can display your website. Now when you click on DNS right here, the transfer domain servers to the web host, you're going to transfer the name servers from Namecheap to HostGator. So when you click here, you go to this page. This is where you transfer the name servers. Now, you're in Namecheap. This is your registrar. Keep in mind that this is your registrar. HostGator is your host. Right here. HostGator is your host. Now, what you're going to do is you're going to go to your HostGator cPanel, where all of your information is, and all of your where you keep all of your files, and where you manage your websites. And you're going to go down to the bottom of this page. Again, this is your cPanel, control panel. You're going to go down to the bottom of this page, and on the left-hand side over here, it says name servers right here. And under name servers, there's two numbers. This would be the one. This would be name server 1 and name server 2. I've blurred them out because you don't need to see mine. You need yours. These are your name servers right here from HostGator. And what you're going to do is you're going to take these name servers in the order that they're listed right here, and you're going to transfer them over to Namecheap. So the first name server will go right here. HostGator name server number 1 will go right here in this top one. The second one will go in the second space right here. So you've transferred the two domain name server numbers from HostGator over to Namecheap. That means Namecheap will read these instead of their own, and your website will be displayed through HostGator. Once you get those HostGator name servers here and here, those two numbers here and here, you'll simply click Save Changes and you're done. And that's the last thing that you have to do with any of the name servers to get HostGator to identify and to display your site. Now, you have to have your site, of course, published. That means you have to upload it to HostGator. You have to upload the design, all the files. You have to upload the pictures, design files, everything up to HostGator. Now, you have built a site, presumably, in some type of software. We've showed you in what you see is what you get Web Builder, and we've also showed you how to do it, or just showed you the characteristics of Xsite Pro. When you go to the publishing information of either one of these, has publish here, edit, there's a screen that comes up where you have to enter some information. The information that you need to upload your website is in your HostGator control panel. This is where everything is listed, including your usernames and passwords and things like that. But for the purposes of uploading your first website, what you'll do is you'll just simply put in the URL would be whatever the URL of your website would be. Whatever your website name is, it would be http www.thename.com.net.org, whatever it is. That would go right there under URL. Your host would be, if this was your only domain name, the first one you registered, it would be your primary domain name. So your host would be fortsmithtaekwondo.com is all you would need to put there. FTP, fortsmithtaekwondo.com. Your username and then your password. Your port would normally be 21. If there's a different port than that, HostGator would show it to you, but your port number is 21. Then down here for remote folder, the remote folder that you're uploading your website to is always public _HTML / and then the name of your domain. That's the folder that your website is going to go in. So this is the information that you need to upload your website to HostGator. And in what you see is what you get Web Builder. You have a test button here. I can test it. It says enter a valid HTTP host name, which of course I changed a minute ago, and this is what I have to have in mind because Fort Smith Taekwondo is not the primary domain that my account is identified by. It's identified by this right here. So my FTP address is this right here. Now, here's what you don't have to do. This is just a note. You do not have to build or make an FTP account for any of your domains to upload your website through their FTP server. FTP, by the way, means simply File Transfer Protocol. You do not have to open an FTP account for your site. I did it with this one. Consequently, I have to use this address right here. But if you don't set up an FTP account, it simply is FTP, your domain name and extension is all it is on any site that you try to upload. Putting in your username, your password. Now, since I've got this correct, I go to test over here and it says successfully connected to the FTP server. That means I can upload any or all of this site that I want to upload. And I don't want to upload any of it, so I'm not going to. In Excite Pro, you get the same type of screen. It's much bigger. It's a more dramatic looking thing, but it's got the same information. In Excite Pro, you would put your domain name up here or your URL up here. Under Home Directory, there would be nothing there. FTP server. Now see, for this one right here, this is not the primary account that I'm uploading here, but I did not build an FTP account for this website. So the only thing I have to have up here is just FTP plus the domain name, and then the directory, just like I said a minute ago, is always public_HTML, and that's teachingassistantcourses.org. My username and then my password would go here, which I'm obviously not showing anybody. So this is the way that you upload your websites. Now, what you have to remember is here, that once you get ready to do this, you hit publish, then you're going to there's going to be a process that it runs through, and there'll be a little graph, and it'll show you what's happening. If it fails, if it doesn't work, it will also have a screen pop up that will show you that it didn't work, and you can go back and make whatever corrections you need to make. These websites can take, according to how big they are, can take anywhere from a minute up to several minutes or longer to upload, according to how big they are, how many pictures and videos and things like that you might have on them. But this is the basic way that you upload a website. You simply fill out the publishing details from HostGator. Now, if you have any problem with any of this, you need to go to HostGator. Has a wonderful support team. They have a number of different ways that they can provide support for you, and including instant messaging, which I've used a couple times, and it's very fast, and they will get you going. They'll tell you what to put where and how to publish it, and that's the way it works. So it's just that simple. It's simply a matter of going in and getting your website upload details, loading it in the software, publishing information, and hitting publish my website, and it will upload to the server. And since you have once you have taken your domain name and transferred the name servers from the registrar to the host, and once you have uploaded your site, within 2 or 3 hours your site should be live. Now sometimes it can take longer than that. It's according to what the activity is going on, what kind of activity is going on with the servers, but it should be up within a few hours, where you can type in your website address into an address bar on a browser like Firefox or Internet Explorer, and you should see your website. After that, it's up for good, and every time you make corrections to it or add things to it in your software and publish it, those things will be published. If you take something off of your website and publish it, those things will be removed from your website. So everything can be done. If you're using this type software, everything can be done from your software. If you do have any problems with your software on into it after you've been doing this for a while, and you have some kind of problem with a file or something like that, you can go into your HostGator cPanel, go to File Manager. You see under Files there, you can go to File Manager, and you can open up any one of your websites and look at every file in your website. Every picture, every web page, the English, the code, the picture, everything in there you can see, and you can actually edit it and make corrections within cPanel here. You want to avoid that if you can, but if you need to, you can make your corrections right there within HostGator. So it's all according to what you've learned and at what level you have done this, and this is all assuming that you're just starting out. So in any case, just to backtrack here just a little bit, you're selecting a registrar, you're selecting a domain name. You're taking that domain name and you're transferring the domain name servers from the registrar to the host, which is HostGator. You're then uploading your website to HostGator for your website to go live. And it's just as simple as that. The devil's in the details here, but once you do this 2 or 3 times, it really becomes something that's pretty simple. And once you get used to it, when you have any problems, you know where to go look to figure them out. So there's a learning curve here. It takes a little bit of fooling with it and clicking around and working with it. But once you get it, you won't have any problems with it from there on out. You'll be able to figure out what to do if something goes wrong, and you'll be able to get your websites up and going in no time. So that's the way that it goes. The installation of a WordPress, if you've decided that you absolutely have to have a blog, if you have to have a blog and you want a WordPress blog, then you install a WordPress blog directly from HostGator. I'm going to go into the HostGator. Let me zoom into this. There in your HostGator cPanel, right down here. Let's say you want to take all of your articles and you want to build a WordPress blog. Doesn't cost anything extra. What you do is you go into your HostGator cPanel. You still do everything with your domain name that you would have done by uploading your site, but on this, to install a WordPress blog or to install WordPress, you'll go down here to this thing called Fantastico Deluxe. Now this is just an image, so I can't click into it, but you'll go to Fantastico Deluxe, and when you click on that, you'll get a page that'll come up that will have all kinds of options down the left side. One of those options will be WordPress. You want to click on WordPress, and that will take you to a WordPress installation screen that's very quick and very simple. It will give you the option of installing WordPress as your primary domain. In other words, that would be your website, WordPress. Or it gives you the option of installing WordPress in a directory of your website, which would make WordPress a page on an existing website. So you can do it either way. But if you're building a WordPress blog, and that's what your site's going to be, you'll simply install it in your main directory, and it tells you how to do it right there on your screen. It'll give you the opportunity to give them a username and password for your WordPress interface, and after that, once you get that, you can click install. It will install WordPress for you, give you an address that you can go to log in and go to your WordPress dashboard. And that's too extensive for the purposes of this tutorial. Plus, this tutorial has been built on the basis of people building a static website. But just so you know, you can build a static website with regular web pages and add a WordPress blog to it as part of your site if you want to do that. That's easy enough to do also. So in all of this, keeping it as simple as possible, which may sound kind of funny at this point. Selecting a domain name is where we are now, or selecting a domain registrar. Selecting a domain name and purchasing it through that registrar. Then taking that domain name and making sure that HostGator can display your website. You take that registrar's domain name server and you transfer it to HostGator. Once that's done, you upload your site to HostGator, and in a few hours your site will be live on the internet. And that's the way it works. Just keep in mind that when you're doing all of this, when you get over here to HostGator and you start clicking through this, I'll be glad to help you, but the best way to do this, they've got tons of tutorials. They've got tutorials and documentation for everything that you do on HostGator, and they've got a support team that can walk you through any of it that you don't understand, and they will work with you very quickly and very efficiently. And actually the easiest way to do it is through instant messaging. So just want to encourage you to use all the resources of HostGator to help you with anything that you don't understand here. However, if you'll go back through the tutorial that I just did with those pictures and how to deal with the registrar, how to transfer those domain servers, and how to upload your site to HostGator, most of it will be in place. And if something doesn't work, it will be something very small. And if you'll go over to HostGator and just give them the process that you've gone through, they'll be able to walk you through anything that you might have missed. And again, once you get it and once you learn to do this stuff, you won't have any problem with it from there on out. You'll be able to do it, and if something does go wrong, you'll know right where to go to look for anything that might be problematic. So this is the way you get it up. And now, if you've done everything else, and if you've stayed on a time frame, if you've got your software, if you've written your articles and built your website and you got your file ready, you should be ready to go ahead and get your domain name, get it transferred to your host, upload your website, and you should be ready to go live. What I want to encourage you to do is just give me a ring or email me or drop me a note somehow and let me know how it works out for you. And if you need any help, I'll do my best to give you some help, particularly right here, because I've done this a whole lot of times at this point, and I'll be glad to walk through some more of it with you too. Just a quick addition here to the full video is that I decided here I would open up the mind map presentation and add it onto the end of the video here, and so you wouldn't have to go back and forth in the video to find all of the different details of each step of the process of your domain name publishing. So this is the end of the video. You can leave it right here and see everything that you need to do without having to go back and forth in the video. So again, I'm looking forward to seeing your video online. God bless. I'll be talking to you soon.